Hello and welcome to From a Basement in Tulsa. I'm Jason Ferguson. I'm here with David Castro Band. David Castro's back. I think you're episode 5 or something, right? Do you remember? You wouldn't know, huh? 5 or 6. David was here by himself, but now he brought the band. Say what's up, dudes.
We're all here.
What is up, dudes?
What's up, dudes?
What's up, dudes?
And they're here to talk about the new album that David spoke some about when you were in the recording process, actually, which is awesome. It's finished.
Right.
And I'm stoked to hear it. And it's called Highways Calling.
And you're the first person to get it.
Really?
Like, that just came in yesterday.
I feel fancy as shit.
It's only proper.
That's awesome.
Does it make your face happy?
Yes, it's smiling big. I was thinking about our show, your CD release show, October 10th at Hunt Club, and how I played the last CD release show, I think. And it was a weird, funny story we already told about me walking up drunk to David and saying, I bet you'll love my songs. I know you'll love my songs, or something like that. He was like, are you good? I was like, yeah, I'm real good. It was obviously like a Jaeger night or something. But so I'm really honored to be a part of the next CD release show, man. And I had misfits when I was thinking about it. That's what I call when I physically, painfully miss somebody. I missed you guys.
Oh.
So I'm glad you're here. Thanks for coming to my podcast and bringing this CD for me.
I just got the warm and fuzzies.
That's a great way to start. The last episode, I started with like a poem from a guy that's coming to Tulsa. Actually, October 1st, Neil Hillborn. Shout out. And like, it's a really happy poem for a minute, and then it gets like crazy sad, and I was like, man, I should have cut it off at the happy part because like, the podcast all of a sudden got sad. It was bad. But how you guys been doing, man?
Been doing good.
And please go around the circle and introduce yourselves. Say something nice about somebody else in the group.
My name's Gary Buchanan. I play drums for David Castro. And David Castro is really cool.
You guys don't really have to do that. That was like on the spot. I was like, yeah, this will be funny as shit.
That was a nice thing.
David Castro lets me play songs with him. Well, hello, Gary. I'm glad you're here, man.
I am Travis Inselman. I play bass. And let's see here. Brian has lovely facial hair.
He does. It's true.
Thank you.
I grew out my beard for a full like 2 weeks because I've been sick and I didn't have to do anything. And like I got full patches around my cheeks and just empty chin. It was so sad. I would have left it. And like my buddy Brad said to just leave it because only short people can see it anyway. But I was like, you're right. But
Is that what the 2 weeks growth we're seeing right now?
No, that's like 2 days.
Because I was gonna say just put some cream on that and let the cat lick it off.
Yeah, right. I finally bought razors. I'm very likely going to finally join Dollar Shave Club because every time I'm at the store, I'm like, I need to get razors, and then I don't. Because, I don't really use them that often because I don't really grow much facial hair. But when I do need them, I need them pretty bad, and they're never there.
Those things are expensive.
Yeah. Maybe I should get sponsored by
From
Dollar
a
Shave
Basement,
Club.
brought to you
Dude, they
Dollar
By
Shave Club.
Dollar Shave.
because I hear about them in all kinds of podcasts, and they're always
Jason's not going
sponsoring.
to pay $1. He's going to get them for free
Yeah.
shipped to his basement.
I don't even need money. I just need some damn razors.
Like a chic endorsement.
We're still introducing ourselves, Mr. David.
My name is David Castro, and I have the coolest bandmates and hardest working musicians that are badasses that play this music, and it's fun.
It's good to hear.
Damn it, I should have been serious.
I was serious.
No, you gotta have comedic relief.
I'm Brian Parker, and Gary Buchanan does not snore.
That is a great thing
you.
to be a part of. Flashbacks.
I don't.
That is a big thing when you're on the road.
Even
Trust
drunk,
me.
even like really drunk, he still doesn't snore.
I think I might look really drunk.
I bet if he's real drunk.
I mean,
I don't snore, but if I'm real drunk, like
find out
pass
tonight.
out level,
Well,
I snore.
it's a surprise that he doesn't. Look at that rad honker he's got on his face there.
he's got plenty of breathing room. Yeah.
Brian, something nice.
I said something nice. He didn't say I couldn't say something not nice after it.
Move some wind with this
You
bad
don't
boy.
fuck with Gary Buchanan.
Thank you.
He
David Castro's
beats
coming
on
back.
shit for a living.
That's true. Okay. I jacked some mallets. Are those expensive? After Sin of the Universe,
sticks.
after Sin of the Universe, somebody left like the soft mallets with like
supposed to admit
with
that.
like
yeah, man, that could be like $30 or $40.
yeah. Well, they left them, and it was like an hour later, and they're throwing everything away, and I was like, I'm keeping those because I got some.
I
have
don't call
some,
that Jack.
Do you still have them?
Well, if they were just gonna throw them away.
Yeah, they're just getting trashed, and I was like, man, I want those because my
Mallets
girlfriend
are
gave me like
cool, yeah.
a xylophone thing, and it doesn't sound good with drumsticks, but with that fuzzy stuff, it works good. What are those
Beater, like a
called?
mallet.
It's a mallet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also,
All right.
It also sounds good like on djembe or large cymbals.
Probably.
I played marimba in high school.
I don't know who Jim Bay is, but I know they sound good on like timpanis and stuff
And
like
we
the real
had to
big ones.
use mallets.
Jim Bay. I don't know who Jim Bay is. I'm stuck there. I gotta make sure people heard that.
You have been the biggest djembe rock star
Man,
that I've ever seen.
I gotta be drunk, but then I can handle it.
Jim Bay
we
Rockstar.
talked about that last
Yeah.
time I was in here.
Get me wasted in a drum circle when I'm there, but only for like 5 minutes, because then I realize nobody's in tempo, and I'm like, I can't do this. Like, we have to have a rhythm here. And the hippies.
You were stand-up headbanging djembe playing.
That's awesome.
Don't deny it.
No better Jim Bay
was.
than I.
The
mean-
lucky people of Santa Cruz.
Man,
Yeah.
those people. I'm glad we didn't add them on Facebook like we thought we were going to, because I would have had to like hide every time. Like, I would have hid my face every time I saw them post something. Like, they can see me like, having a great day. Oh no.
There's that drunk guy that was headbanging playing djembe.
What kind of music you guys been playing before David Castro Band? I know you guys are pretty recent. Welcome to our little friendship circle.
Hi, thank you.
I don't know, where you guys been playing around Tulsa for a while, or?
I haven't played since in a band in an organized fashion, other than just sitting in gigs and stuff.
That's cool.
But it had been a few years. I played with Brian in a band called Bait that we co-founded and rocked the house with. I think we were like way bigger rock stars in our head than what we actually were, but it was fun. I loved it. And then I went into this weird, dark, like progressive metal phase where I just kind of cooped myself up in a closet, not in a closet, but like in wherever my jam place was, and just played like a bunch of Tool and weird stuff, a lot of Slipknot and weird
It
stuff.
was his closet.
It was all like the syncopated, like weird, out there type stuff. I was trying to get better. I think I got lost for a while, and then I came back and I joined these guys.
Good. I've
Hi.
seen you guys both play with the Dave Castro Band, and it was awesome. It was fun. I also jammed on the djembe there at your family jam night with Mikey Olin.
Yeah.
And then I was really contemplating playing your drums, because like by myself, I'm an okay drummer. Like, I can keep it beat when there's nobody else playing, right? So I almost decided to play with the jam band, but I
That
held
would have been
back
totally cool.
because it would have ruined everything. Because there has to be like 3 minutes of me working my foot on the pedal, like, which one is this?
Because if you do that, the first thing I'm doing is grabbing Brian's axe and just wailing away on something.
Let's just all do something we're
Instrument
terrible at
trade.
for a jam band.
And if he does that,
David, you
I'm
should
putting
sing.
delay on the bass.
Just kidding, buddy. I forgot you were the serious nice one.
I worked
earlier.
that twin
I take
reverb
that
over.
back.
Where's the comedic sting?
I'm just
You
kidding, I
got
love
sound
your voice.
effects over there yet?
I can add him later, but I probably won't. I'm too lazy.
You gotta throw a good one in there. Like a wee or
A slide whistle.
What about you, Travis?
What about me, Travis? I spent most of my time over on the west side of Oklahoma in Enid and Oklahoma City, Lawton, playing prog metal with a band called 13 Cent Kill. And also been in a punk rock band called Merciless Assault and several others, but just playing since I was 17, whatever, or whoever would have me around, man.
That's great. How different is it playing with these guys?
It's not as different as you would think, honestly.
It's just
It's the musicianship is such high quality in this band that I just honestly feel like it all fell together. You know?
good. I'm glad you're comfortable.
Oh yeah, I love
playing
it.
with these fools.
Yeah.
And tell me about Highways Calling. We're a good 9 minutes in, so we might as well talk about the album here. We can throw in a song. Pick a song there, Brian, and tell me about it.
Hey, do that again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's me
Yeah.
slamming the e-cig on a glass table. That's smart to have.
Send me that as an MP3. I'll make it my ringtone every time Fergie calls. I get a text from Fergie. It's like,
I saw, this isn't quite the same, but I saw a jailbreak tweak for iPhone that is probably on Android naturally. I don't know. But I guess if your phone is falling, it screams. So, like, if your phone realizes it's falling to the ground, it lets out a scream.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
That is awesome. I need that.
oh, just as a side note, as I'm looking for this song real quick. You know how I'm always seeing you and going, "Hey, no loving like a fucking loving."
It's true.
I'm totally doing that as a 3-part harmony for you as a ringtone to send you. So
I will use it.
I know you will.
We just got a new intro for the podcast.
Hey,
Damn, I better actually be in key.
next thing you know, you'll be making money doing jingles for podcasts.
No, there's no money involved.
What do you think we ought to play for the one of the singles?
Well, I mean, the album is called Highways Calling, so obviously there's the title track of Highways Calling that's on the album. And that song was written just, I mean, about going on the road and about, you know, doing the grind, you know, of hitting the highway every night and being in a new place every day and being exhausted and doing it all over again, you know, but both kind of the grind and the awesome reward of it, you know, that kind of like the what's that saying, like the journey is the destination or whatever, that there's not really, it's not like there's really a place you're going to, it's about the repetitive continuing down the highway,
That's beautiful.
and then it's always calling you back, you know.
Let me ruin that by saying I haven't had a chance to say this out loud, but I've thought it constantly that I am too clingy to tour regularly because I always meet people and like become best friends with them at the place we play, and then like you leave,
You never
and,
see
and
him
then you
again.
might not see him again. I actually tried calling the dude we met in Ventura, and he didn't answer. So anyway,
Oh, it's that damn drunk djembe player again. I'm not answering that.
here's how he's calling.
Highways calling us down back to the pavement. Calling our names, calling us back to
Dudes, that's awesome. That sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
That sounds really good. I'm pumped for you guys to have like a great sounding recording. And you did it at Yellow Dog Studios, right? Thanks for wearing the shirt, so it's easy for me to remember.
You're very welcome.
What was it like?
Got your cue cards over here. Yeah, Yellow Dog Studios in Austin, Texas. Used to be in Tulsa, so I mean it still has Tulsa roots with producer Dave Percival. Why don't you tell us about the studio, Brian?
Well, Dave moved to Austin about 8 years ago, and just looking for more clients and trying to build his business up, and really took off for him down there. And since he's been down there, he's won a Grammy and been nominated for Grammys, and great studio. Found a partner, a business partner, put a $2 million Neve board in.
I don't know what that is.
Well, it's a very expensive mixer from the UK.
You said knee board, and I was like, why would you use
Neve?
Neve? Okay, it's different.
Yeah, and the studio's great atmosphere. Dave is just an amazing producer and a really great guy to be around. He's really good about pulling out of you what needs to be put down on the recording.
He's weirdly really good at telling you to like go drink a beer, or like, because there's times in the studio where you have to run a track, just working on one particular part, or adding in something, or whatever, reworking part of it. But he was always really good, even like when it would frustrate me, because we're used to like working, or like I'm used to in the past working in the type of studio where we're on such a budget that like time is money and we need to get this fucking song done,
5
but
minutes
he
ago.
would be the best about like, oh, it's lunchtime, like let's go have fish tacos every day.
Not a bad choice.
Wahoo Tacos right around the corner, man. Great.
He was really good at just, let's run the song a couple times, let's step away from it and then come back to it. But always created a real calm, environment.
Really liked working with him. He hooked us up with Dave Collins of Dave Collins Mastering out of Los Angeles for the work. And that guy's won like 60 Grammys. He's worked with Weezer and Sting and Soundgarden and Black Sabbath and just about you name it. He's been with on those albums. His name's on there. So we're fortunate to have both those gentlemen work with us.
That's cool. And thanks for bringing it here first. That's awesome. So that was this will be the first time somebody's heard that outside of the band
Absolutely.
is on the podcast. That's freaking
Absolutely.
sweet. This episode is brought to you by David Castro Band. That's excellent.
And Dollar Shave Club.
Yes. If any listeners would like to send me razors, used ones are fine.
Ooh, I wouldn't throw that out there.
Yeah, you don't know what they've been shaving,
You're going
man.
to get some funky razors.
Send them to David Castro
At Brian Parker's address.
Quick, somebody say your address. I won't put it in there. I'll be
Yeah,
the only one sending you
I
guys
live
these
like
razors.
That'd be
like
717.
Midtown.
719 East 136.
No, it's like
He's going to trick you into saying it.
it's
Don't fall
about
for it.
what 13th and Harvard.
No.
Oh, 15, just east of Harvard.
You can bring David your used razors October 10th at the Hunt Club. FM Pilots tried to talk the fans into showing up to my Center of the Universe set wearing a goat mask. For some weird reason, a goat mask got involved in the whole episode. It was like the highlight of the episode. It was just something that randomly got thrown in there. It was fornicating with a goat mask on.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean,
It got kinky in here with the FM pilots, did it?
yeah, weird.
Is that kind of like the Fuzzies?
I assume so. If you're into it, you're into it. You know what I mean?
Whatever floats your boat.
The
You
only
don't
time I
pick-
ever considered that was no.
Well, I thought that was about to get really
We're going
interesting.
down dark,
Everyone got quiet.
dark tunnel.
Like we're listening to you, sir.
I was just kidding about the go mask.
Again, this episode is brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club.
Highways Calling will be releasing at the Hunt Club on October 10th with the wonderful Jason Ferguson joining us, as well as Garrett Heck, Roots of Thought, and hopefully tons of friends and family. And
Roots of Thought were also on an episode. If you'd like to hear them, scroll back, listeners. But That's awesome. I'm glad they're on the bill too. And Garrett, did I meet him at your place? Is that the dude I met at your place?
Large beard.
He was from out of town coming to play somewhere.
Nope.
Nope, never
No,
mind.
he's a Tulsa boy.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry, Garrett.
Garrett Heck, he just released a new album too. I think
do you
it's
spell his
just
last
music
name?
by Heck.
By heck.
How do you spell his last name? Because I hope it's H-E-C-K.
It is.
Is no kidding?
Yeah.
Heck. That's
His
awesome.
his t-shirts just say Hick.
That's perfect.
It's great.
Is he also a hick?
But he's a kind of a Louisiana /
Close enough.
Oklahoman.
He could get away with it.
So I think he definitely has
Hick, I'm
some
a
hick
hick.
in him.
Kind of biker,
I'm a
swampy
heck.
looking, you know.
The stuff he plays, man, has like an old soul to it. It's cool.
That's cool.
Cool stuff. So
Excellent. At
if
the
you
freaking
haven't checked out Garrett Heck,
Hunt Club.
check him out. And it's GarrettTheck.
Correct.
Heck.
But he'll be there. He just released a new album. Roots of Thought just put out an album like 6 months ago
Yeah,
or
Parallel
something. So come check it out. It's gonna be a blast.
How much money does it cost to get in?
$5.
$5.
But
if you pay me in advance, it's only 10.
no, for your $5, you get in the door. You also get a wristband with a download code on it for the full album.
That's sweet. I should have done something like that. I should do something like that.
Dude.
I should sell wristbands that have downloads of the podcast on there, even though they're free.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
it's only $1.
Sell them at the CD release. We can set this up.
It's 25 free episodes. But, right?
But the album will also be available that day on iTunes and Amazon and CD Baby and Spotify
About 2,000 digital download
and
sites.
numerous other digital means. But so when you get your download card at the show, you can download it that night. It'll be available that day.
You guys want to hear something fun? When I released my album, TuneCore was awesome, except for they screwed up every single store. Something different was wrong in every store. For example, iTunes left off the featuring Bo Tyler on the song, which was kind of offensive to Mr. Bo Tyler. I was like, I'm so sorry, dude, we'll get it fixed. So they fixed it a few days later, except for every fix takes 2 weeks.
Right.
And then, like, iHeartRadio was listed as, like, a different Jason Ferguson. So, like, it was really weird music to be looking for me, and then all of a sudden you get this odd music. And then, so there was a bunch of things wrong. And then, so it eventually got its own artisting. This is 2 weeks every time I get him to fix something. So, and then Spotify had him fix that. But still on Rhapsody, if you have Rhapsody, if you search Jason Ferguson, I'm actually Jason Ming Ferguson, M-I-N-G. I have no idea why. And it's been over a year, but I was just so sick of emailing people to fix stuff. I was like, who uses
I
Rhapsody
think you
anyway?
should rock it. I think I like
That's funny.
it.
You don't look
Jason
Asian.
I know. Actually, Perry from Able to Allies, they were learning my songs when we were going up there to play some. Was like,
Right.
No, they were coming here. And he's like, why are you listed as Ming? Is your middle name Ming? And that's how I learned about it. I was like, what? Are you serious? And then
I think you need to just go by the pseudonym Ming.
I
Ming
could.
the Merciless.
But it doesn't. That's perfect.
I like the Ming in the middle of Jason and Ferguson that are like
You
the
do like
least
Ming.
Ming-like names.
You could tell them that you
Sound
were
very Asian now.
adopted by an Asian family when you
Yeah.
were growing up.
The David Castro
Or a
CD release
merciless
show
evil world leader.
with Roots of Thought, Heck, and Ming.
Starring the breakout performance of Ming.
Heck Ming.
Perfect. I'm excited for that. A lot excited, actually. It'll be fun.
Well, we're excited about having you, man.
Dude, we have to go into a talk about the Hunt Club. I love them so much. Every time I have a random idea, I'm like, Mary Ellen, can I put on this kind of show here? And she's like, do what you want. And I'm like, you're so awesome. So she's let me bring a poet to the Hunt Club. And I was kind of worried that maybe she didn't want to, a poet. And like one time she just randomly let me book a guy a show that I didn't even know. I just met him and he was really cool. So I went to watch him the night before. It was like a Friday night or Saturday night, and she let me book a Monday night like that day. So hey, can this guy come up and play some songs for some money? And she's like, yeah, bring him up. And I was just like, I fucking love you, Mary Ellen. That's what I have to say. She's the best.
She is the best, man. She's treated us. It's like our home here in Tulsa. I mean, we love playing the Canes. Don't get me wrong, and several other venues in Tulsa, but that place is just home to us. Maryland's done so much for us to support us. and for that matter, just the local music scene, original music. She's all about original music. And if you're out there and you're listening and you want to hear original music, or you haven't and you're venturing out to, you should definitely go to the Hunt Club and hear. There's always something going on there.
Well, she's really cool about creating this like open, like you said, like you can come to her like, well, actually I want to, do some crazy thing or something that's not necessarily like a standard normal in the box kind of idea as far as, a local music venue. And she'll almost always be like, absolutely, like, let's try that out. Like we've been doing this, kind of a open jam night, if you will, where we'll kind of trade the night amongst kind of some set musicians or friends or whatever. But then at the end of the night, we kind of open it up to everyone. And, we've had a few nights now where there's like 8-9 people on the stage, by the end of it, like you were talking about when you were playing djembe, and we've got Allie up there, and I was playing like an apple shaker. It looks like an apple, but it's a fake fruit, like egg shaker type thing.
We had a banana one too, but he threw the damn
I was
thing.
going to say, I was there. You
I've
threw it.
seen Gary, our drummer, playing lead guitar, like everyone's switching around instruments. Like it just makes for a really fun thing that's kind of outside of the box, but we wouldn't be able to do something like that at all if it weren't for Mary and everyone at the Hunt Club just being awesome.
I'm glad you included everyone. I was just getting ready to say, how about the staff there? They're wonderful people.
It's like the best bartenders, best people.
One of my favorite pictures is right after I got T-shirts for the first time. I was just scrolling through old pictures, and there's a picture of me just wasted at the Hunt Club with the whole staff of the night wearing my T-shirts. And I was just like, man, this was the good old days when I could afford to get wasted. And I gave like 200 shirts away out of that first batch. It was only 100 shirts, but somehow I gave away 200 of them. I could only manage that. But let's put more emphasis on the banana that we saw you throw to somebody at Hunt Club, and it was
I
an
forgot
awesome
about
shake.
the banana.
He mentioned it, and we got to talk about this.
Do we don't have to talk about
that was the
banana.
best sounding shaker that we owned.
It had,
You
it
told-
Did
had
you guys
like
lie
this
to me and this
tone.
is secretly
You threw
an
a banana.
intervention about banana throwing?
Yeah, we're not actually recording the podcast at all, Mr. Castro.
Son of a bitch.
You have a problem, and we need to put it on the table.
More,
So angry,
Intervention.
man.
more importantly, we need a new banana shaker.
Correct.
Can you include that in the intro you're making for the podcast, Brian?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
What, the line, we need a new banana shaker?
No, just I need
We
you to.
need a new banana shaker.
Sounded pretty close.
All right.
It's pretty damn close.
Brought to you
So
by
I was throwing the banana out of love and
It
the
wasn't
unity
really a
of
throw.
music.
It was a toss. I had a coworker get in trouble for throwing.
It was a
something.
drunken
toss.
toss.
And then he was like, "No, I tossed it." So like he didn't get in trouble or something. There's some weird story where somebody
See?
threw something.
That's what I
but
mean.
you get more in trouble if you throw it instead of
It's
toss it.
not like I was
Yeah.
angrily throwing this banana.
So you tossed it lovingly for somebody to play in the crowd.
Right, for like this lady that wanted a shaker or something.
I felt the anger.
It was like
I felt the anger too. You were like full on dark side.
looked like you looked like Nolan Ryan.
We have this whole set of shakers that we take to shows because sometimes, especially when we're doing a more unplugged kind of set, we like to
The people
you know,
need their shakers.
They need shakers. We've done that for a long time, so they can like shake along or dance along or whatever, but get their shake on. But we had all of these different fruits and vegetables. I think there's some potatoes in there, apples, oranges, and then there was the banana,
No banana
which,
now.
which was really,
It was the banana.
it had a good sound to it.
was.
But I threw
balanced.
the banana at the lady, and I missed.
Toss the banana.
Hey, David, don't ever touch my banana again.
I tossed your banana.
So how about another song?
So anyway, we got some things to do backstage here. Let's play another song.
Brought to you by Dollar Shave Club.
Brought to you by David Touching Bananas. What are we gonna play?
Brought to you by your local fruit-shaped egg shaker provider.
So this next track is called "Cannot Breathe." It's one of the singles, for the album.
Okay, so we'll play "Cannot Breathe." Cannot breathe. The ends are close together, as in one word. Cannot breathe. What's Cannot Breathe about, Mr. Brian?
Cannot Breathe. I actually wrote that song.
Oh, good timing.
Yeah.
Actually, David stepped out to have a smoke, so let's talk some shit on him.
Okay. So there was this.
Go ahead.
So there was this. I just totally lost my headphones here. Don't hear anything. Are you hearing me?
Yep.
Okay. That song's actually. I had someone in my life who's no longer with me, who had issues with addictions, and loved her very much. And every time that she left, it was a really hard thing to go through, and that's why what the song's about please come home, I cannot breathe, I can't see another day without you. And if you've ever dealt with anybody that has an addiction, it's a totally different set of rules, I assure you. And you'll learn a lot as a person, as yourself. You really learn patience as a person, and and hopefully you can help that person. And ultimately, they have to make the decision themselves. Unfortunately, like I said, she's no longer with us, and so. But the song really derived from that pain, and going through all that. So not trying to be on a down note or
it's
something.
deep, but songs like that are important, I think, especially on a full album.
Well, sure.
Welcome back, gentlemen.
I'm sure there's somebody else out there that's going through that. In fact, I personally know a person that's going through that right now.
That was kind of brought to light in a pretty big way recently in the media, and just talking about how it's a disease. That shit's a disease.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. No.
I guess some people have doubts about that, which I wouldn't have considered it until I read about it, realizing that this. When you hear somebody that got clean that's talking about it, I think Russell Brand talks a lot about how his addiction is an everyday thing still. Now that he's clean, it's still an everyday choice to not do that, and never really goes away. So that's a beautiful song. Even though it's,
a lot of addicts actually have to hit bottom before they come back up. And they have to hit that bottom, and then they choose to either stay there or they choose life basically over it, and make their way back. I'm thankful at the end of the whole process, this person did get back to a good state. So the addiction didn't kill this person, but like I said, there was just a lot we went through together on that. So, and that's where the song came from.
It's a beautiful song.
Yeah, beautiful. I'm glad you put that into. That's I think the best part about music for me is putting that kind of stuff into a song, and so I appreciate your song greatly.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Wow, let's play another song and pick one.
How about one that's a little bit more upbeat now, or a little bit better subject matter where we're not feeling all sad and all of a sudden, Damn, hand me another beer. What song you want to hear now?
Well, there's one song on the album that is definitely a personal favorite of mine, and it's kind of a personal song as well. And it probably will never be a single because it's like 5-6 minutes long or whatever. But we had a lot of fun with it in the studio, also, which is "Top of Our Lungs." And it's actually a song almost in response to a song of my brother's. My brother had a song called "Brother," and it went, "Brother, where have you been? How have you been doing? I miss my friend." It was kind of when we both, when he was going off to college and I was going off in a band, and we were both kind of in different places, but me and my brother are super close. And then I guess 4 years ago now, we lost our mother, which kind of changed everything. But in his song, it says in one part, it says, "Won't you write a song with me? Come back to the woods." We used to live on a place with 100 acres with tons of woods and go throw spears at each other and shit. But
as brothers do.
But so this was kind of in response and saying we can still dream, we can still sing like the days in the woods. But it's called "Top of Our Lungs."
Beautiful. Here's "Top of Our Lungs."
at the top of our lungs. We can watch our children grow and do the best that we can. You teach them to dream. You dream just like us, and we'll be old and gray. Yes, and we will die someday. But we'll never forget what was. We can still dream like the days in the woods when we were young. We can still sing those times we should at the top of our lungs. At the top of our lungs. We can still dream like the days in the woods when we were young. We can still sing those times we should at the top of our lungs. We can still dream like the days in the woods when we were young. We can still sing those times we should at the top of our lungs. At the top of our lungs.
Sing the last notes there, David. At the top of our lungs. That was beautiful. So it's great. It's so full, like a studio album. Does that make sense? It's like big. It's juicy. What was the stuff at the beginning there, Brian? I want to hear it.
Oh yeah. So that intro part was earlier that day. We were cutting some vocals, and David was feeling a little bit hoarse, and he was like, "I need some whiskey." So Percival, our producer, said, "Well, there's a liquor store down around the corner," and me and Jim Bob took off. And an hour later, we showed back up.
Of course.
And while we were at the liquor store, usually we're Crown drinkers. We like Crown a lot. And the lady there was like, "Have you tried 40 Creek?" And we were like, "No." And she goes, "Look, buy it. Take a shot after you buy it before you leave. If you like it, great. If you don't, I'll let you have the Crown Special Reserve at the same price." And I was like, "Deal." Took a shot. It was great. Awesome whiskey. Took it back. Everybody else fell in love with it. The entire crew got drunk. And sometime around 3 or 4 in the morning, David wanders off for a smoke, and he comes back in, and he goes into the keyboard room, and he's sitting there drunkenly playing on this harpsichord, and the producer hears it, and he goes, "Hey, play that again," and hit play and record, and caught that. So that was completely a drunken fluke that part ever appeared. And David can't play it to this day because he was.
That's perfect.
I'm gonna have to give him a bunch of shots to get him to attempt it again.
Yeah.
I remember when I first heard it on some of the pre-production tracks, I was like, "What is that? Who's playing that?"
And I was like, "You did, man." I was there. I saw it.
But it turned out cool.
That's beautiful.
It's cool
Where'd it
how
come
those
from?
little sweet nuggets of randomness can come out of just fooling around in a studio,
freaking glad you're here telling me about it. That's awesome. I've been so excited to hear the album, first of all, and just to hear how it went, because you guys are disappearing for weeks at a time. I think I saw you play a show, and you're like, yeah, we're going to leave in the morning for a week and a half, and then coming back to play a show and leaving the next day for a week and a half.
Yeah.
It may have been made up, but...
We were making a lot of trips for like a week or two, you know, and that would be in the middle of making run after run, you know, of shows around here or like regionally. But I had never, well, the time we first checked out the studio in Austin was South by Southwest, not this last year, but the year before.
Correct.
And it was my first trip to Austin. And then it was like after we walked into that studio and said hi, we've been making trips to that studio like again and again and again. How many trips did we make down to Austin?
Well, I was just sitting here thinking, between that year and this year, between pre-production and the gigs, we did a little over 300 shows and 4 trips to Austin specifically to record. Except the last one, we actually did 4 sets at South by Southwest and finished all the vocal tracks and all the guitar tracks in a 4-day period. It was a 5-day period. It was a blur. In fact, that's when the drunken keyboard thing happened. So,
but it was a lot of fun to record down there.
I can relate to your blur a little bit. I realized today that I've been like pretty sick the last 10 days. I ended up getting a pretty bad ear infection. So my band played yesterday, or it'll be a week and a day yesterday when this comes out. Whatever. We played before One Direction outside of BOK Center.
Oh, nice.
And it was awesome, except for my ear is jacked up. And I was so like, I can kind of hear now, but for a few days I was completely deaf in my right ear. It's just painful. So I'm sitting here playing for 2 hours, and I realized that I'm solely relying on my guitarist's monitor because I'm not hearing shit out of mine. I didn't realize it till way later. I put on the headphones. It's like, man, like when I was editing last week's podcast, when I realized that I was deaf in one ear because it sounded kind of messed up, and I was like, man, I can't really hear the right side of what's going on. So I think it would have been hilarious if I did notice and just bounced and released the podcast with the right headphone way louder than the original. But I could see a blur because today I realized like the past 10 days it's just been like a total blur. I noticed today, and like I finally went back to work today, and I was like, holy shit, I don't remember the past 10 days. And mine was caused medically, and yours was caused with fluids. Yours was self-induced.
Imbibing fluids.
But
among other things.
That got you a pretty sweet intro.
It did. It really did. It really did.
I can't wait to I want to be around you, David, when you like remember. Oh yeah, I totally know how to play that.
It's not. We need a bottle of 40 Creek right now. Let's take some shots.
I'm into it. We'll come back. Let me take a break. And David's going to play some piano for us. I'm going to like load up a Beethoven song or something like that.
He has written an exclusive theme song for the Dollar Shave Club. So stick around for that.
Dollar Shave Club.
It's awesome.
We'll make a believer out of you.
You guys haven't shared any drunk stories over here on the left side of the room. The blue mics.
We don't drink.
Oh, I believe that. I know. You happen to be in the David Castro band. So you know that to be
If you dry that out,
actually-
you can fertilize the lawn.
I'm actually creating a drunk story right now. Like, as we speak. Remember the time?
Did we record something last night?
Yeah.
I remember something about razors and microphones.
Vodka.
I
think you were
seeing my
wearing
friend
pink
and
Yeah. I knocked on the door, no one answered. That's all I know.
for the listeners on the inside joke, I always feel bad when we let an inside joke get through the podcast
yeah.
where everybody laughs inside. Go ahead and tell the story, sir.
Well, it's just the neighbor where we are, particularly at this moment right now, is a place where one would acquire. How do I say this? Different herbal sustenance.
I believe it.
What you're trying to say is you get weed there.
So I went and smoked a cigarette a minute ago. I went upstairs and I walked around. I was just curious, and I knocked on the door and no one answered. So
that's real. I didn't know that was a real story.
it's a real story, and I exploited its possibilities and came up negatory. Negative. I might try again after the podcast here. But true story.
I'm in for I'm in for 20.
Yeah. I got 5 on it.
That's what I was gonna say. Man.
Oh shit. Well, speaking of the munchies, we're gonna be playing the state fair tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, look at that segue.
Tomorrow, as in what date?
We'll have already done it by the time.
We just played the
fair. It was awesome.
It was amazing, man.
Well,
I got stuffed on funnel cakes and turkey legs.
Hey,
hey, don't forget the
Another
corn
drunk
dogs,
story.
man.
That was awesome.
Dude, I was standing in line one time for corn dogs at State Fair, Tulsa State Fair, and the dude in front of me, he gets this corn dog, he pulls it out of the fryer and hands it to him, and I look at it, and there's this lump on the side, and not 30 seconds before, I saw this June bug, like, take a head dive right into the batter, right? And I was in line for a corn dog, and he goes, "What do you have?" And I was like, "Just a lemonade, thank you."
And then eliminated was the June bug.
oh, that'd be a bummer.
That'd be perfect.
I
to
bet
avert.
a nice fried June bug on your corn dog batter.
You wouldn't even notice. Enough mustard.
I bet people in
This is all
China
making me
do
real
that
hungry, I know
for
that.
breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
We're in Oklahoma, man.
This is kind of related.
Definitely a quick
You don't mess with a corn dog.
When my ear started messing up last week, I was convinced, because I'm in a basement and spiders love basements.
Like a spider crawled in your ear.
I was convinced that there was a spider in my ear,
have
or
the same
like
fear.
spider babies or something. And then actually today we killed a spider with fire at work. Somebody found a black widow and they went and got a torch and lit it up. So that's all I can imagine in my ear, just all these baby spiders running out. But
So
no.
hold still. We'll get the blowtorch.
So I know my neighbor has a torch. That's perfect.
I had fears about spiders like that too.
I was worried. I was concerned.
I have them every day.
That would
I
suck.
don't like spiders at all.
Because you can probably find on the internet videos of or like people having bugs in their ear, and
Oh, yeah. On FB, just this last week, one of our FB friends, and this in our circle, I know she's in your circle too, and I can't think of who it was, went to the hospital because she was having a pain in her ear, and there was a freaking spider in her ear, and it was stuck in there. Yeah, the doctor had to remove it or whatever. She said she felt instant relief when physically, and had nightmares for like 3 days after that.
Could you imagine like baby spiders just crawling out of your
slated
face?
for the next several nights now. Thanks.
Isn't that one of those like the scary stories
Two
you tell in the
doctors.
dark? Isn't that like one of the stories? Is there's like the lady that the spider lays eggs inside her and they all like hatch out and
two
Starting to sound
doctors
like-
have stuck scopes into my ear this past week, and I'm still concerned right now. there's probably a fucking spider.
Oh, I can totally see it. Right?
It's hiding behind that lump of wax. He's all
see a
stealthy
little
back
leg
there.
Totally have a whole
sticking
family
out
of
of
spiders in
your
here.
headphones
He's
there.
got those little things like this, the little teeth.
You guys want to close out with another song? Friggin' thanks so much for letting me play so many of your songs.
Yeah,
2
dude.
weeks before you can even buy it or hear it. I think it's close to 2 weeks, somewhere like that, right? I don't know how many days it is.
Week and a half,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Something like
It's
that.
some amount of days, but nonetheless, that's pretty sweet of you, dude. So
Hey,
I'm
thanks
excited
for
to hear it.
playing them. We've been working on this for the past like year and a half, so I'm just excited that people get to finally hear it and hear what we've been working so hard on. So,
Which one you playing, Brian?
which one you playing, Brian?
Hey, Brian,
Take.
which one are you going to play?
What are you gonna play, Brian?
Hey, Brian,
I think Take would
Which
be
one?
a good
Take.
choice, too.
Huh?
Yeah, Take would be a good
Take.
one.
tell me about Take, David.
Yeah, Take.
Why does every song involve whiskey?
Give us a take on Take.
Well, Take
I'll take one
originated
description,
from just kind of a jam in the jam room where Brian had been messing with this Nina 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 riff. And then,
Nina.
yeah, you'll hear what I'm talking about in just a second. But it was one of those things which I love about the way that we rehearse and stuff is, we do kind of some regimented rehearsal or whatever, but then in every rehearsal, we're bound to wind up just jamming off on something for 15 minutes. And that's really kind of what this song came out of. And then I went home and drank lots of whiskey at 3 a.m. and was playing with it, and this is what came out.
Great. You wrote a song too.
Well, thank you guys so much. We'll close with that. Thank you guys so much for joining. Man.
Thanks
That's
so much, Jason.
I've had fun. Of course, I got to go check my ear. So, I can't see my ear. Will you check it, Brian?
Yeah. Hey, go knock on the door and see if they got that blowtorch. And while you're there,
That's the
While you're there, pick a little
seriously
something up, will you?
I will hand it to you. That's the best thing that's happened so far on this podcast. That is the most amazing event.
All while being drunk.
Step out and go to your neighbor's house.
October 10th, the Hunt
Dude,
Club.
trust me, I'll be back.
We'll be there October 10th. I'll see you driving around every day. Stop by and say hey whenever, man.
I know these guys over here and over there.
Hey, man, can I hang out here till my friend gets home?
hey man, my weed dealer doesn't have a parking space. Can I park at your place?
So October 10th at the Hunt Club.
The Hunt Club,
$5.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Comes with the album. We'll be hanging out. These kind of shenanigans will probably be happening.
Absolutely.
More than likely.
Most likely. And thank you.
And again and again.
Thank you guys for being here again. And thank you, listeners, for listening. That's awesome of you. If you're listening on iTunes, please go say something nice in the review box and leave 5 stars. Because as Lyft told me, 4 stars is failing. That's what they said. I interviewed to drive for Lyft, and they're like, 4 stars is failing. I was like, I'm not going to be good at this. Anyway, so thanks a lot. Here's David Castro Band with Take.
Thanks.
Get back, don't stop, take a look at what you got and don't stop for a second to breathe. Live your life in a drink and a song about the day we died when we went wrong. Drink to the air we breathe, yeah. Yeah, let's sing a song. Each day, each play, every single piece that they can find some good to take away. Can you sleep, dream, can you put your thoughts away? Take a drink and let it sink the bottom of despair. Can you stand all by yourself, or do you need help?